So I am doing a caramel brownie poke cake. I know it sounds like a lot, but it just came to me in a dream, I guess. And I said, well, let me figure out a way to do a poke cake with a brownie. So my caramel brownie poke cake is simply going to be, first of all, we're going to take Eagle brand sweetened condensed milk, or any brand sweetened condensed milk, caramel bits. We're going to heat up the sweetened condensed milk, put in some of the caramels and kind of thicken it up, put it to the side, and I'm going to take just regular chocolate cake mix and mix it with brownie mix. So this is going to be a super fudgy, super chocolatey delight, because I'm actually also going to try to cut the sweetness just a little by making a chocolate whipped cream and put it on top. So, all right, let me get started on that. All right, so here's the sweetened condensed milk with the caramels in it. And I only used, it definitely wasn't the full bag. It's 1 full can of sweetened condensed milk and maybe half a bag of the caramel bits. You could actually do this also with just the caramels if you want it thicker. I want it, a little creamier, so that's why I'm adding it to the sweetened condensed milk. And you could have also taken the can, let me get another can, filled your pot with water, and just, take the paper off your can, of course, and just sit the can over in the water and boil it. I normally boil mine for a couple of hours, and it actually turns into caramel. Who knew, right? So anyway, I'm gonna let that go ahead and warm up and heat through and start melting down and combine together. The condensed milk is getting hot, but the caramels, looks like they're starting to melt down. Okay, so anyway, let me let that finish, and I don't have it on too high because you don't want to burn this. So kind of have your heat on medium to low and let those guys kind of hang out. All right. You always want to get this working first, and then we can go ahead and work on the cake. All right, so this is completely melted, completely combined. Now we're going to go ahead and remove it from the heat and just let it hang out. So getting started with the brownie. Okay, let me think of the name again. The caramel poke brownie cake. Does that sound good? Like I said, I'm doing this one straight from the hip. So, once again, it's just a basic box chocolate cake mix. I'm gonna add that, and I'm basically following the box instructions for them both. These brownies are chunk brownies. They have the chocolate chunks in them. So you're going to get a chocolatey, fudgy delight definitely out of this one. Oh, I just keep dropping stuff. So anyway, you just put them both in. I'm not going to use my mixer. When I'm making brownies, I typically don't use my mixer. I'm always using a spoon, because brownies are a lot thicker than regular cake batter. So I tend to use a spoon more often. Well, today a spatula. All right, so pretty thick chocolate chunks in there. So anyway, the recipes combined call for about a cup and a half of water and then combine about a half cup of oil. So that is exactly what I'm adding. So it's a cup and a half of water and then a half cup of oil. Uh-oh, do not want to break the eggs just yet. And I'm adding 4 eggs. Once again, do not break the eggs on your bowl. Break the eggs on a flat surface so that you do not have shells in your mixture. And pretty much that's it. Alright, now let's just mix this all up. And we're going to throw this in the oven. This is to keep down my splatter, okay? I start in the middle and I kind of do the internal stir. And I let it all catch on as I go. And then I'll start bringing it to the outside. That way I don't get a lot of splatter. Pretty much no splatter. Then I just start adding the rest of it in. Everything in the bottom is getting mixed completely. And then, like I said, the dry mixture on top, I'll mix it in there. I don't know if you can see it, but we've done that diet. I don't know what it's called, but if you can see right over there, my husband has the lemon and apple cider vinegar and a huge container of honey. And I think we have some turmeric over there, and he had a little cayenne. So I guess we put it with tea or water, or I don't know. But we're going to see how that works. We're just starting with that. I'm going to see how it works for him first, and then I'll try it. All right, so let me get this mixed all up, and we'll transfer it over to our grease pan. All right, I have my Baker's Joy, and I'm just going to spray down my glass dish. I have a full pan. I don't think it's as deep, so I'm not going to use it. So I'll just take this one and use it. And that mac and cheese is about ready to come out too. And that's a separate video. So make sure you go over and watch that crawfish mac and cheese video I did as well. Okay. And that's all it takes for this, guys. So I am now going to put this in the oven, and I'm going to take my mac and cheese out. But I'll be back to show you what we're going to do to this next, because once it's done, we're going to take the end of our spoon, probably this spoon, and just poke holes in it. Once we have the holes poked in it, we have the caramel sauce here that we're kind of keeping warm just so it seeps in just right. Gorgeous caramel sauce. Gorgeous. We're going to put that in there as well. And we're going to make a chocolate whipped cream just to cover it all with. All right. Be back in a second. The cake is out of the oven. It's still pretty hot. But guess what? I'm still going to go in here and poke my holes. And I'm just taking the end of my spatula. And I'm using this one because it's a wider end. And I don't want little bitty holes. I want it in there. You know what I mean? I want to make sure I get all of, or as much of, the caramel as I can. Matter of fact, let me get a few corners here. It's always that person with the corner piece that doesn't get none of that goodness. So, all right. Now, you saw how we did the caramel sauce, right? I hope so. Whoa, hand giving out on me. And let's just go ahead and pour this all over the top. Now I'm doing this while the cake is hot. The caramel sauce is also hot because I want it to completely get into the cake, you know. I want you to be able to see it when you cut into it. So let me get all of this out of here. Put that to the side. And just get it all over the top. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that chocolate whipped cream that I said I was going to do is pretty much going to be an overkill. So I'm going to leave it like this. You know, if you want to have a little whipped cream, you know, you can. But basically what I was going to do was take heavy whipping cream and just completely whip it up and add a box of chocolate pudding mix to it. There's your chocolate whipped cream. That's all it is. Nothing fancy. Pretty simple. So there you go. Pretty much that is your chocolate chunk caramel, still hot, caramel fudge brownie poke cake. I'm trying to tap it a few times because you want, like I said, I want that caramel to get in there, but it's hot, so I got to do it the best way I can. So I'm just trying to knock it on in there. But anyway, that's it. We'll get some, once again, we'll get some shots of it. And thank you so much. Oh, real quick, if you're doing just a regular caramel cake, the topping that I have here, once cooled, is also good to cover your caramel cake. This can be considered your caramel cake icing as well. Once again, like I said, you can either take your can of sweetened condensed milk and take the paper off, put the entire pan in a pot of boiling water, let it boil for me 2 hours, and you get this color. You get this color, you get this consistency. Sometimes it's a little thicker depending on how long you let it sit there and boil. Or you can do it the way that I did it. I took and just opened the can, put it in the pot, let it warm up, and I put caramel bits in it and just let them melt down, and this is what we have. So anyway, here is my caramel poke brownie. All right, thank you guys so much for coming by. I look a mess. Let me let you see me. Hey. So thank you guys so much for stopping in with me. I don't really want you to see me because I look horrible, but it's Sunday dinner. Hey, you know, who looks good for Sunday dinner? So anyway, thanks for stopping by. Don't be a stranger. Like, share, subscribe. Most importantly, make sure you are sharing my videos. Again, this video was something that I came up with on my own. Really, like I said, I do a lot of dreaming about food sometimes, thinking about food when I'm driving home from work or going to work or whatever. But anyway, this is one of my ideas that I came up with. It's not homemade, but hey, it was my idea. It's my recipe. Hey, let's, you know, it is what it is. So anyway, thank you so much for coming by. Love you lots. Bye-bye.